Hi everyone, welcome to Fat to Thin Senior RNY. I'm Raven. I was 76 years old when I had gastric bypass surgery on December 16, 2019. Last week, I talked about how to maintain motivations, or how I maintain motivation anyway, which I hope is helpful to you. In this vlog, I'll be talking about trigger foods. If you're curious, please continue to watch and join me on this journey. Last week I talked about how to maintain motivation. This week I'll be talking about trigger foods. And what are they? What are trigger foods? Well, personally, I define it as any food that you put in your mouth that brings comfort and that you know you can't eat just one of. I think that's the biggest part. You just can't eat one of them. Now, there's different strategies you can use. You can try and avoid them. Except that they are everywhere. Everywhere. And then there's more than one style. Take, for instance, cookies. You got chocolate chip, mint chocolate covered cookies, oatmeal cookies, oatmeals with icing cookies, soft top cookies, Sandies, Oreos, etc. And then there's more than one style. I mean, for instance, you can get crisps or snaps, like ginger snaps, or you can even get Oreo snaps. You can get sandwich style, like Oreos, lemon sandwich cookie. It's soft tops. You can get them large, big cookies. You can get big pizza pan size cookies, or you can get, of course, little ones. So the problem is, and we're just talking about cookies, is that they're everywhere. So you got to come up with something for this. I mean, you got to plan ahead what you're going to do. Your strategy is, Yvonne Heck, subscriber, thank you, Yvonne, said, all of the situations to create the triggers are based around my mood. Feeling stressed, anxious, overwhelmed, lack of confidence, that kind of stuff. Well, to tell you the truth, I noticed that myself. I was looking at the news. I try not to look at the news or even open the computer or my phone or anything for the first hour that I'm awake, because I found that I get very stressed, especially watching the news, Well, I was sitting there watching the news a couple of days ago, and I was just so annoyed, and I stood up and found myself standing in front of the refrigerator. Now, I wasn't hungry. I had just eaten breakfast maybe an hour or two before, that kind of thing. But I was like up and looking before I realized that I was up and looking. This is amazing. Looking for something and I was looking for cookies or something, which of course I don't have in the house, But I was looking for something like that. Give me some chocolate. Give me some, whatever. So I sat back down, drank a glass of water. But the thing is that I realized, yeah, stress does this to me. I have to be on top of this kind of thing. Now, you can stay away from trigger foods altogether. I don't see that happening personally over the long term. I do see that over the short term. I have, for the last year and however long it is since I've had this operation, managed to not eat one piece of candy. And I think for me, that's probably a good thing. It's like not taking another cigarette or, something like that. But that hasn't kept me away from cake, cookies, potato chips, Doritos, things like that, which I'll talk about in a minute. The thing is, I think that sometimes if you wait a minute, let me start again. I said that I don't eat candy. I won't eat candy. I won't go down the candy aisle. I won't pick up candy. I won't do that at all. Just the thing is I don't seem to obsess over it. Hold on a second. Rowley, 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 come here, boy. Come here. She doesn't have her door open. Come here. Come here. Come here. Where are you? There you are. Okay. Now, you got to be quiet, okay? So, as I was saying, you can stay away from trigger foods altogether, like the candy and stuff like that, that I managed to stay away. Don't touch it. Don't bring it in the house. Don't look at it. Walk past the aisle real fast, that kind of stuff. Until it has almost gotten to the point that I don't even notice the candy. Which is an amazing thing for me, let me tell you. The other thing is that I think you can do that with maybe one or two things, like for me, candy. I can't do that with, well, maybe I could, but I've chosen not to do that with potato chips, Doritos, cake, cookies, because I find myself thinking about them all day long. And I think that might be because I have allowed myself to have them. Whereas with candy, it is absolutely no-go. You know, don't even go there, you know. I don't think I could do that with all of my trigger foods. I mean, there's macaroni and cheese, for instance, you know. How are you going to do that? So maybe it's a case of I chose the worst one, or chose the one that really bothered me the most, which was one of the very reasons why I decided to have the RNY was because it is purported to get rid of the urge for super sweets like candy. And it did for me. I mean, it cut me right off. It's amazing. So I'm not going to go and try a piece of candy to see if I still like it. You know, I'm not going to do that. The thing is I think, anyway, that you should try and substitute for things like that. I mean, I still want sweet. You know, I eat a lot of grapes. I'm not as bad with grapes as I was. I think it's because they're accessible. I can get them easily, that kind of thing, so I don't go crazy. But there's grapes. And the thing about grapes is they're prepackaged, you know, and you just pop them in your mouth. Now, if you freeze them, they get even sweeter. And you have to eat less of them because they're frozen, and you get that, you know, that thing up in the head from freezing stuff. You can freeze bananas too, they're good. Then I mean, you know, you could do crackers, whatever it is. My choice, my substitute snack changes every week. Lately I've been hooked on grapes, but for a while there I was hooked on those little oranges. I forgot what they're called, halos, or those kind. And, you know, it changes. For a week there, I was crazy about salad. I would get those salads for one, and I'd jazz it up with some little cherry tomatoes and some cucumber and whatever else. Throw in some dill relish, and I've been eating those like they're going out of style. But when I go to the store though, and I'm looking for a snack. I mean, I don't go to the store. I go online and I order my groceries, and then I do the pickup thingy, and they just pile it in my car, and I never go into the store, you know. But so when I order online, I get one substitute snack like grapes, and one something else. That could be Doritos, that could be potato chips, that could be oatmeal cookies. I do not ever get the family size. You know, get the smallest I can get, you know. So I have been successful in that I keep it down to one, per week, and I've stayed away from candy altogether, my absolute nemesis. And it was funny too, because I was sitting with some friends yesterday in a restaurant, local restaurant. We were all 6 feet apart, but you could sit in there and talk. And she said to me, and she's talking about drinking water and that kind of stuff. And I said, well, yeah, I get a lot of liquids. I drink tea and whatnot. And she asked me, do you put sugar in your tea? And I said, yes, I do. But I put like a half a teaspoon in my 28-ounce cup. She said, why did you bother? Well, the thing is that sweet stuff, sugar is really sweet to me now. There is no way in hell that I can eat use an entire package of Splenda. It is just way too sweet. And I think just that half a teaspoon of sugar, you know, takes the bitterness of the tea away or something. I don't know. But so I still use sugar, yes. So anyway, I think the best thing about trigger foods is just don't bring them in the house. That does not mean sit in the car and eat them. You know? Just don't bring them in the house. Or if you do sit in the car and eat them, do not get the large size. Do not supersize it. Do not anything like that. And if you could get the children's size, you might be better off, because all you need to do is take off that edge, you know, and then you can keep going. And remember too, if you ate the whole bag of Doritos, you ate the whole bag of Doritos. Get back on track right after you finish it. Don't even say screw the whole day. No, right then. Onto doing the right thing. And then I think too, if you do bring them in the house, like I do bring in a box of cookies or something. If you do bring them in the house, make sure, figure out how you're going to eat them before you open the package. Like my daughter says that she likes crumb cake. And on the outside of the package it says 9 servings. So before she takes a bite of anything, she cuts that up into 9 servings. Now she could sit there and eat 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 of 9 of them, you know. But each time she picks up one, it reminds her of her goal. So she can manage to not eat the whole thing. She can put it on the side and say, oh, I can have some later, you know. So, I mean, any little strategy that helps, you know. And the biggest thing to remember is you don't have to eat it all now. That's all. I do things like, if I have a trigger food in the house and I manage to put some of it aside and that kind of stuff, I will eat real food in between the trigger foods. So if I had cookies for breakfast, then I'll have whatever for salad, whatever, for in between, and maybe cookies again, who knows. But the thing is I don't feel an overwhelming urge to eat them, because I know I can always eat it later. And I've found too, and I have done many times, that if I find that I'm being overtaken by the cookies or whatever it is, the Doritos, if I find that I'm dipping in the bag constantly and I'm not really looking for food to eat, and my main meal of the day is Doritos or cookies, I will take it and empty it into the garbage. And that will be it for the week. Because why eat the 1,000 calories all at once? The goal was to have it for the whole week. And if you can't maintain it for the whole week, throw it out. Try it again next week. Toss it. You can always get more, you know, you can always go get more. So, you know, hey. And I put rules in to minimize consumption. Like, only 1 bag of Doritos per week. Never buy, ever, 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 ever buy the family size. I can't get any other. If I eat that one bag all in one day or whatever, I can't get another treat for a week. So therefore, I choose my treats very, very carefully. What do you do to have your cake and eat it too? Do you have rules like that? Crazy, I know. But you know, sometimes you gotta trick yourself. You gotta, in order to accomplish your goal, you gotta do what you gotta do. You know, and if it calls tricking yourself, self-hypnosis, or whatever you want to call it, do it if you can. And if you can't, find another way to do it. You know, I know one of the best teachers I ever had said, if the book I recommended to you doesn't work, find another book. You know, even though I just paid $40, $50, $80 for the book he recommended, you know. Anyway, there's the Rowley report. Rowley. I told you my neighbor bought toys for him to steal. So, and he's supposed to steal them, and then I returned them, that kind of thing. So she came over with her dog, Shifty, and he stole a toy from Rowley. Now the thing is, is that toy, oh, here it is. That toy is Shifty's toy. So Rowley went over and stole Shifty's toy. I managed to get it back to Shifty. And then, oh no, I didn't get it back. What happened was that it was a toy that he stole. Rowley stole that toy about a month or so ago. Rowley had just stolen a toy. Which one was it? It was a whale from her house. And so when she came over with Shifty, Shifty picked up this toy, this very same toy, and stole it out of my house. So we've got 2 stealing dogs here now. But meanwhile, Rowley saw Shifty steal that toy, but he had the toy that he stole in his mouth. So he was like torn. You could it was so amazing watching him, yeah. So he decided he was going to keep his toy and let Shifty have his toy that Rowley had stolen. So anyway, we go into the next day, and it's raining outside and that kind of stuff. And I come back in the house after walking him and whatnot, and I reach down, and this toy is in the house. I don't know where he got it from, how he got it, when he got it, or anything else, but he got it, and he brought it in the house, and it was soaking wet into the carpet. You know, and he didn't want me to take it away from him so I could hang it up and let it dry, you know, drip dry in the tub or some such thing. Anyway, so he stole it back again. So now I have to get this one back. Meanwhile, he had swiped a panda before he swiped the whale. I managed to get the panda back. But he's got the whale and he's got this one too. So I've got to get both of those back somehow. Anyhow, he's doing good. He's still lunging at people. He's not nearly as bad. He gets better. You know, I could see that he's definitely getting better. He's still going after those golf carts though, but I don't get it. Like this morning we were walking and there were 2 golf carts there. He started barking and carrying on. The guys got out. They got out of the carts and went on to their duties. And he was barking at the cart, gets up to the cart, sniffs it, pees on it, walks away. He's not interested. I guess because the guys aren't driving it, you know, or whatever. And he doesn't care about the guys who got out. I don't get it. Anyhow, he doesn't like those carts. Maybe it's the wind, the way they sound when they're running or something, I don't know. But he's getting better. I tell you, he really loves running in the desert too. We walked 1.5 miles. We'll walk 1.5 miles in the morning. He runs a 1/2 mile, 1/4 mile in the desert, because I take him, let him off the chain, and he runs. There's no coyotes around here. And then he comes home, and he wants to chase the ball for a half an hour. I should throw the ball so he could chase it inside. You know, I don't know how he gets that much energy, but I obviously need to catch up. You know. Anyway, I keep trying to make these videos shorter, but it's not getting there. Next week I'll be talking about intuitive eating and what I eat in a day, because I've been practicing intuitive eating, I don't know, about a month now. So anyway, so to sum up, I'm feeling good. I'm still excited, still energized. I'd still make that choice for surgery again, because I'm having fun. Why not? So please subscribe, comment, and ring the notification bell. And don't forget to click show more to see the description below. And thank you for watching and listening. And thanks for subscribing. And thanks for staying up late a couple of weeks ago when I did that live stream. See you next week, okay? Take care. Blessed be, and you take care of you and yours. Bye-bye.